Hey guys, I'm Phillips, driver of the Tyre Street sponsored V8 powered Nissan 350Z. So the last couple of events have been absolutely crazy this year, getting on the podium both at Drift Pro and at Drift League. Teesside and Stetson have been absolutely awesome. The LSZ is really coming together now, and happy to say that I'm gradually getting confidence back in the car as well and in what I could do myself. But I didn't get an opportunity then to pick up the camera and talk to you about what Tyre Streets have to offer.
On that 350, hopefully you can hold it. Yes, you can. On that perfect line, Mike. I don't know what's gone into these drivers today, but they're doing exactly what the judges asked.
So for the last couple of seasons, I've been working with Tyre Streets UK, running the Accelera 651 Sport 100 tread wear semi-slick tyre. So I've been getting plenty of experience with this, trying to find what is the best combination, because as everyone always says, just get loads of grip on the rear end and just go for it from there. But a lot of people often make the mistake in getting too much rear end rubber and too much grip, and then it can make the whole car completely unsettled, snatchy, and just not what you need for championship drifting. So, you know, over these last few years, we've been working hard on the car itself. We'll go into the setup a little bit later on. But one thing we did keep consistent is the tyres themselves. So obviously one of the main things you can always change about tyres, apart from the width and the actual treadwear that you're using, are the pressures. So we always usually start around 30 psi, a really good way of sort of simple baseline. I generally go to every circuit with that in the tyres at the rear end, you know, do the first couple of laps, learn the line, and then depending on, you know, whether it's a fast circuit, whether or not it's dry or wet, etc., then we go up or down in pressures depending on that.
Very good line, Phillips. You see him out wide all the way to 7, staying off the concrete over the finish line.
So this is one of the 651 Sport tyres, brand new from the factory. Tread pattern we've seen now for a few years, so the 3 big grooves down the centre with the little slashes on the side to help get rid of the water in those situations. I currently run mine on a 10J ZF5 wheel from Two Forge. And this is the 265/35/18 tyre, which is the largest that we're allowed to run in BDC and Drift Pro, etc. So moving over to these ones were used at the BDC final a few weeks ago at Teesside, which was a particularly hot weekend. You can see here they've worn perfectly nice and flat, which is amazing considering it's a banked circuit on that first corner. But also there's absolutely zero delamination or bits pulling out and so on from these tyres. So yeah, the longevity and how well they hang on is absolutely fantastic. So this is Biz HQ, or my garage or workshop, whatever you want to call it. So this is where we actually built the LSZ, just in here. You know, we're not in some fancy unit or anything like that, so it's all DIY, home built stuff. But yeah, before any event, as well as a very thorough clean, as you can see, is still filthy from Drift League. The car will have a full nut and bolt check, full service, you know, all oils changed. But also it will then spend a couple of hours actually on the dollies where I'm going to be doing a full alignment on the car. You know, it's not like a street car where you'd chuck it on the alignment gear maybe every 1 or 2 years depending on who you are and how thorough you are. But yeah, it's really important that we're constantly making sure that the wheels and stuff are pointing in the direction that we want them to be. You know, it makes a big difference on how the car handles, especially on a different circuit. You know, some circuits are fast, some circuits are slow, some circuits have bank corners, some circuits don't. You know, so taking the extra time allows us to get the best from the tyres and the best from the car as well, and to keep up with some of those other guys that maybe have a little bit more horsepower or a little bit faster than us. Another thing that comes in useful every now and again, these things, real simple. These are toe plates. These actually came in really useful at the last Drift Pro round, where I found out that actually, as I was driving down the straights, my wheel was cantilevered over by a few degrees. So, you know, the boys managed to quickly level that off and get the toe exactly where it should be again. And that helped me get going down the straight as I wanted to be, rather than careering off down the side or feeling that I was snatching to the left more than the right, etc. So yeah, the development that goes in behind the scenes on these cars is insane. You know, we spend hours upon hours working on these in the workshops at home, making sure they're as up to spec as they can be and to the top of their performance, ready for the day where they need to go and compete against someone else. 2021 drift season is over now, so we're not going to be going full 100% crazy on the LS this year like we did at the beginning of this season, cutting all the weight out of it and respraying it. This year is going to be more about maintenance and smaller improvements on the car. So we'll make sure we take all the bodywork off the car, clean that inside and out, get rid of all that Accelera rubber dust that's stuck in all the nooks and crannies. We'll refit the front anti-roll bar. We've got a new Magnuson supercharger coming. Fortune Auto are also going to take a look at the suspension as well to try and get a little bit more out of that for next year as well. But yeah, I just want to thank Tyre Streets UK and Accelera for their continued support, and look forward to seeing you guys in 2022.